right, welcome back to another episode of House of Ways and Means. We are still in our student loan debt repayment series. This is video number 6. So we apologize for looking a little disheveled. We're coming straight from the gym, so we're a little sweaty, a little stinky. Just bear with us today. But anyway, so what we're going to be talking about today is, I know you guys have been watching us talk about how we paid our loans off, and it seemed like we were so focused, which we were. But I know the question in a lot of your minds is, how do we still have fun but still stay on track paying off our loans? I know some of you guys got major FOMO. I got major FOMO. She got really major FOMO. So yeah, of course you want to have fun, but you still want to be responsible. So how do we go about doing that? At least let's talk about some ways.
So I know in the previous video we mentioned briefly about having a social budget or date night budget. So for us, because we're married, and again, we know that this video is not just for married couples, it's for individuals who are working on paying off their student loan debt as well. So you will have to have a social budget or whatever you want to call it, right? And we set a particular amount of money aside that we can spend on events, things that we would like to do, things that we would like to engage in. One of the main things that we used are websites like Living Social and Groupon. But Means here is very particular about certain Groupon deals, because some deals he will still feel like, well, it's not really a deal. I'm not really saving anything. I'm going to end up actually spending more. So can you speak to that?
It's great to give you exposure to some things that you may not otherwise do, and do it at a discounted price. Now, for me, there's a lot of range of offers they have on there. So I'm not going to do something that's, say, a $10 price for the Groupon deal, but that gives you $15 at, say, a restaurant. The $5 is not going to move me. I like to stay in the 40 to 50% ratio. And the good thing about something like Groupon is they generally show you the percentage that you're saving. So if I see something that is perhaps, if I spend $40 on a Groupon and I get $80 at the restaurant, then I'm going to hop on that immediately, because that's $40 that I'm getting, that I'm essentially saving, that I can then use and get $80 worth of value out of. So I'm all about value.
And we should probably also preface that by saying that he can eat, y'all. Like, he throws down. Like, I can make a whole package of chicken, the whole joint.
Okay, that's not what this video is.
But that's not what this video is about. So his focus, of course, would then be on a value. Like, why would we go to a restaurant if we could really only spend $15 on a meal? He's not going to be able to be satisfied. We're still going to leave the event, hungry. Well, I'll be full, but he will be very salty. So for us, collectively, it just wouldn't work out as a deal. So we have to also, like you said, consider the value to find a deal that would actually work to meet our needs.
So just a couple of quick tips. If you're using a Groupon or a Living Social, check the menu of the place you're going to, because if you're getting $20 worth of value, say, and an individual entree costs $40, unless you're really passionate about this place, that's not going to move me. Don't just be food specific. I know, you guys have a lot of interests. We've used Groupon for, get work done on our cars, get, your eyes checked. We've done activities like Jump Zone, laser tag, go-karting, the nails. So there's a lot of options on there. Don't just be restaurant specific when you're looking at something like Groupon.
All right, and now that we're talking about Groupon, there are some credit card rewards that you can get by using the particular credit card, because you would get some cash back or some points or some type of reward that you would get from using either Groupon or Living Social.
Yeah, so last week we talked about, if you watched the video last week, we talked about using the Citi Double Cash, which we love, to get 2% cash back on everything you purchase. So in the event that you have a card like that, perhaps you say, well, I'm going to use my cash back to fund my social budget. So it's not going to be coming out of the income that we have, but it'll just be coming out of the rebates that we're getting from our credit card issuer. So then it's like you're doing these activities almost for free.
Right. So speaking of free, that brings me to my most favorite thing, which is doing events that are free. Like, there's so many events that are going on in your community. All you really need to do is just Google it and look it up. Like, free for individuals, free for families. Like, just today, or just this week rather, I was looking at some events for us to go to for our social event for the week or whatever, because I just in the mood to go out, and I saw all these free events going on at the this particular area near where we live. There's like a free water park splash for the family. There's like free yoga out there. So you might be paying, $40, $50, $60 to have, to pay for like a yoga class or whatever for, the week, when you can have free yoga once a week, for free. All you have to do is drive there. There's movies in the community and all these things that are free. And of course, it's not going to be, movies that just came out like, in the past week. But it's still an event and it's a fun activity for you to do. And you can, do like a picnic or whatever. There's always going to the park. There are lots of things to do. So don't limit yourself as to what you can do for free.
And speaking of movies, we've saved money.
Yeah.
Going to movies by what do we do to save?
Okay, so y'all. Okay, so when movies, let me preface this also by saying that we're not like avid movie watchers, so we don't necessarily have to go out and see a movie the day that it comes out, right? That's not who we are. We're not going to be going to the movies at 11 p.m. at night to see the Avengers or whatever it is.
With everybody else.
Like, with everybody else. Like, that's not our thing. We could wait a week or two, and we will most likely go see on like a Sunday or a day that we have off and see matinee style. So you end up paying like $5-6, to see a movie. And for the both of us, we're spending under $15 to see, to see these movies.
No popcorn.
No, we don't do no popcorn.
Eat before you go.
You eat before you go. This is really, y'all. I mean, it sounds like it's super frugal, but think about how much money you spend just for a regular admission ticket on a regular night or whatever. Is maybe about $15 to $20 a pop per adult, right? And then you go in prime time, then you have to sit in the theater with mad people talking. It's like crowded. And then if you want to get something to eat, then you're paying like $4.75 for popcorn. And then you try and get a drink. That's another $3 or so. By the time you leave there, you spend $50 going to the movies. Like, that's to us bananas when we could go to the movies 3-4 times, based in using our budget, because we're spending money on matinees and we're not, spending money on the expensive movie food.
So just one last thing I want to say just on this whole topic. So when we were in the middle of our debt repayment, all of our social budget really was just a dining out budget. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of set a number and then you try to use that number as your target. And you'll be surprised the amount of things you can do for free, the amount of things you can do at a discounted cost. Mm-hmm. I mean, we spent a lot of weekend nights just having pizza and a movie at the house. It's going to be a sacrifice. I mean, we don't want to try to trick you and lie to you and saying that you're never going to have to pass up a night out with your friends or whatever. But sometimes your dreams and your goals are just bigger than a temporary outing with your people.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, just keep that in mind. I mean, a social budget and a dining out budget is great because it's almost like a cheat meal on your diet, right? Mm-hmm. It keeps you motivated and it makes the whole thing not so discouraging and just like such a drag.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't overdo your cheat meals. You can't overdo your dining budget because you end up hurting yourself in the long run. So just keep those tips in mind. And we think, there's no reason that you can't have a little fun here and there, or even a lot of fun here and there if you like to do free activities. And just be creative with it, and don't spend too much money, and keep paying off your loans. And it is going to work out fine.
If you have any questions about this video or any other videos, you can leave that in comment section as well. So have a good one. Thanks for watching.
See ya.